Okay, picture this. A college kid is driving home for the weekend. The next morning, his car is found, wrecked at the bottom of a ravine. But here's the thing, he's not in it. His wallet, his phone, his laptop, all still there. This isn't just another missing person case. No, this is a puzzle that starts with one truly bizarre scene and a road that just leads to nowhere. This is the unbelievable story of Bryce Lesbisa. So it all begins here. We're talking August 30th, 2013. It's still dark out near Castaic Lake, just north of Los Angeles. Police are out there, actually on a routine training exercise, when they spot something totally out of place. And that one discovery is what kicks off a mystery that even now has absolutely no resolution. So what they find is a Toyota Highlander, flipped on its side about 15 feet down a super steep ravine. And as they get closer, the whole scene just gets weirder and weirder. There's a wallet, a cell phone, a laptop, all the essential stuff you'd expect someone to have on them. It's just sitting there. It's almost like the driver just stepped out for a second. Bryce Lesbisa, the 19-year-old who owned the car, was gone. Just gone. No body, no clear footprints leading away. Nothing. Just an empty, wrecked SUV and the very beginning of a completely baffling investigation. So the huge question is, how did we get here? I mean, the crash itself is deeply strange, right? But the 48 hours leading up to it, that's where this story takes a truly bizarre turn. To understand it, we've got to rewind. So in the 2 days right before he vanished, Bryce's world just seemed to be completely unraveling. His friends said he was drinking a lot, and at the same time, he was taking his ADHD medication, Vyvanse, which is a stimulant. Now, that's a really dangerous mix, especially when you throw in extreme sleep deprivation. It can lead to paranoia, even psychosis. He suddenly breaks up with his girlfriend over text, and he starts giving away his most prized possessions. You really have to wonder, was this a young guy in the middle of a serious mental health crisis? Okay, so now let's actually track that drive south. He was supposed to be driving from his college near Sacramento down to his parents' house in Orange County. It should have been a simple 7-hour trip. But, as you'll see, it spiraled into this day-long saga of just bizarre, totally unexplainable delays. I mean, just look at this timeline. It makes zero sense. He runs out of gas in the morning. 12 hours later, by 8 o'clock at night, police find him parked only a few miles from that exact same spot. What in the world was he doing all day? Seriously, think about that. More than 13 hours just hanging around in the tiny town of Buttonwillow. You can just imagine the panic his parents were feeling. They're on the phone with him, trying to guide him home, but he's just stuck there, for reasons nobody can figure out. And here's the real kicker. Despite this totally bizarre behavior, everyone who actually talked to him, the roadside assistance guy, the police officers, they all said he seemed completely lucid. He even passed a sobriety test. So he wasn't drunk, he wasn't high, which meant legally their hands were tied. They had to just let him go. So what happened in those final hours? After he finally leaves Buttonwillow, he gets back on the interstate in the middle of the night. And this is where the timeline goes from just strange to completely baffling. Okay, get this. At 2:08 in the morning, he tells his mom he's pulling over to get some sleep, but security footage shows that just minutes later, he's actually driving up this remote road toward the lake. Then, and this is incredible, 2 hours later, he's caught on the same camera driving up the same road again. Why lie to his mom? And what on earth was he doing for those 2 hours? The crash scene itself tells a pretty chilling story. The tire tracks suggest the car was actually accelerated intentionally off the side of the road with no attempt to hit the brakes. The back window was broken out from the inside, which suggests Bryce probably got himself out of the car after it crashed. And there was a small amount of blood pointing to an injury, but probably not a life-threatening one. So you've got a crash scene, but no driver. A massive search of the whole area kicks off immediately. But as the crews scoured the land, the air, and the water, the mystery just got deeper and deeper. Now, this right here is maybe the most important clue in the entire investigation. The bloodhounds picked up Bryce's scent right at the crash site. They followed it down towards the lake, along a road, and then the trail just stops, cold, right at a truck stop. This is really strong evidence that he walked away from that wreck and got a ride from someone. For a moment, there was a terrifying discovery. A burned body was found nearby during the search, but tragically, it was determined to be a completely unrelated homicide victim.
So after weeks and weeks of intense searching, with absolutely no other signs of Bryce, the official effort was called off.
So, where does all of this leave us? Well, for more than a decade now, everyone involved has been left with these same few theories. Each one is plausible, but none of them gives us the complete picture. It all really boils down to this fundamental question. Did he crash his car in a failed suicide attempt and then succeed somewhere else? Did he run into some kind of foul play at that truck stop? Or did he orchestrate this whole thing to voluntarily disappear and just start a new life? And what's so frustrating is that each theory has some real evidence behind it. The suicide theory? It's supported by his alarming behavior and those cryptic messages. The idea that he just walked away? That's backed up by the scent trail ending right at a truck stop. A drug-induced psychotic break could totally explain his erratic journey and irrational choices. And finally, you just can't dismiss foul play, whether it was a random encounter or something much more sinister. More than 12 years. That's how long his family has been waiting for an answer. And in all that time, there have been no confirmed sightings, zero activity on his bank accounts, no credible leads. Just complete silence. His mother, Karen, put the agony of not knowing into words perfectly. She said, this lack of closure, this not knowing, is a pain that's actually worse than death. It's a truly endless state of uncertainty. Ultimately, the disappearance of Bryce Lesbisa just forces us to confront this really difficult reality. That even today, in an age of digital footprints and constant connectivity, a person can drive down a road, crash their car, walk away, and simply vanish into thin air.